Democrats are terrible when it comes to that type of political optics. Because you know what Democrats will do? What they did today. Joe Biden does all of these preemptive pardons on Fauci and the January 6th committee and his whole family. He pardoned his whole family,
Why would you have to do that if they were potentially guilty of something?
Because a bunch of maniacs are coming into control right now.
So why didn't they act like he was a maniac then? Why didn't they hire an AG that would go after him?
You're saying
that's a good question.
Why are they not acting like he's a maniac now? Why are they smiling with him at funerals? Why you want to have tea with a maniac? You did all of these preemptive pardons on people, right? And you said that we're doing these preemptive pardons because we think that this administration is a dangerous administration that'll go after them. But then on the same day, you're in the White House having tea. Get the out of here, Chris. Come on, we gotta cut it out.
Chris, you could just say get the out of here. You could just say get the fuck out.
Get out of here to half that.
That's what I'm saying.
Not all of it.
Okay. But we're getting there. We're moving closer to the middle.
How much of the bird are we gonna eat, Chris?
Who?
How much of the bird? Because it's clearly two wings on the same bird. So how much of the bird are we gonna eat?
Are we gonna eat?
Fly, eagles, fly. What do you think about that?
Listen, today, I think it's today, Trump is dropping 200 executive orders, right?
Yeah.
Yo, the fact that he gave Fauci the pardon is wild.
I told Chris earlier, man.
That's a little wild to me.
It is very hard not to believe.
What the fuck I put in my arm, yo?
That's right.
What did I put in my arm, yo?
Schulz, talk that talk.
No, I need to know what I put in my arm. Why did you pardon the guy that told me I got to put this shit in my arm twice?
Chris.
Let's walk through this.
Let's walk through this.
Thank God I got a fake booster. What would have happened to me if I got a real one?
So I'm supposed...
Yo, Charlamagne, thank God I went to a random Hasidic doctor in Williamsburg, Brooklyn to get a fake booster. What would have happened if I got a real one, Chris? Why is the guy that told me to put something in my arm getting a preemptive pardon?
Let's talk about this, Schulz. This is some wrap up from the hearing that Dr. Fauci had.
No, don't do this.
Is this gonna answer my question, Charlamagne? Because I need to know.
I just want to put some things out there. These are key hearing takeaways from the hearing he had with.
What's the source you're citing right now?
This is from the fucking White House.
Real quick before you say that, if I bought a Toyota, right, and then the CEO of Toyota got preemptively pardoned,
right.
I would be a little curious.
This is oversight.house.gov. So this is coming from the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform.
Who's the chair of the committee?
Doge.
Huh?
Who's the chair of the committee?
This is from last year. I don't know. Key hearing takeaways. Dr. Fauci showed no remorse for the millions of lives.
Who's the chair of this? Right now it has a slant. Who's the chair of this?
That's a racial word.
This is from June of last year, Chris.
Who's the chair?
Okay, just go. Who cares about the chair?
Dr. Fauci showed no remorse for the millions of lives affected by his divisive rhetoric and his unscientific policies. He did not apologize to the thousands of Americans who lost their jobs because they refused the vaccine, nor did he apologize to children experiencing severe learning loss as a result of actions he promoted. Dr. Fauci confirmed that his senior advisor, Dr. David Morens, violated official NIH policies and potentially broke federal law. Dr. Fauci maintained his misleading claim that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China. Dr. Fauci agreed with the select subcommittee that EcoHealth and its president, Dr. Peter Daszak, should never again receive a single cent from the U.S. taxpayer. Dr. Fauci corrected his previous testimony that his staff did not possess conflicts of interest, and Dr. Fauci publicly acknowledged that the lab leak hypothesis was possible and not a conspiracy theory.
Sounds like we got to unpardon him.
Right.
That
so
sounds like
let's walk through that.
Yeah.
Let's suppose that Fauci was in fact part of a wide conspiracy funded by who is it? Bill Gates' organization? Is that what they say?
I mean,
I just don't understand. If you're not guilty, why would you need?
All right, no, but let's walk
real quick.
Let's
can I
walk
just
through this.
just before, because I want you to walk through it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it is. I think these people were doing the best that they could with the information that they had. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you make mistakes when you do that.
Right.
Right? You're operating without data. There's no precedence for this. This is like an absolutely terrifying situation. There are millions of people fucking dying. You're doing your best. I think what people want is to not feel gaslit. I think what people want is Fauci just be like, yo, we did our best. We fucked up with some things. Okay, maybe we overreacted.
We made up some stuff like the 6 feet of separation.
We made up some things. We made up some things. We thought it would be helpful. We And you know what? Maybe some of these things really were helpful. Maybe some of them really hurt Americans. They hurt small businesses. They hurt kids not being able to go to school. And in these tough times, you have to make very tough decisions. I made the best decisions I possibly could in that moment. And some people were hurt and some of those decisions were wrong. And I take full accountability for that shit. Not this bullshit that we've had where you go, give them the fucking pardon. And then there's zero accountability and we don't even shine a light on it.
And you know what else shows? Here's the thing.
I think that's fair. Just be a man and say you fucked up.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, he didn't totally fuck up. He might have partially fucked up. All I'm going to say is look around the world. Who are our enemies? Who are our friends? They all did the same thing. They tried to develop vaccines. They did social distancing. Maybe it would have worked if everybody had bought in. Maybe it wouldn't have. Everybody tried the same fucking thing. So to act like he's out on this island trying to destroy
Chris,
America.
This is what I'm simply saying.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of conspiracy theories about Dr. Fauci before. Doing a preemptive pardon for Dr. Fauci is not helping him beat those allegations.
Oh no! Now it's going
to be worse.
Well, I will say this: it seems like that was his choice, and he'll have to live with it. I mean, so essentially, from what I just read this morning, a lot of people he also pardoned people who were on the January 6th committee, right? And some of the Democrats said, "I don't want that pardon. Don't give it to me. It implies
we didn't do nothing wrong.
I didn't do anything wrong other than investigate the truth, and I don't want the pardon." Now,
and we should investigate the truth.
Now, does he seem guilty? I'm choosing to say I see it as a guy who's old, who doesn't want to spend the next whatever years of his life.
Chris, he pardoned his whole family.
Who, Biden?
Biden. Minutes before he didn't have the power to do it, he pardoned his whole family, like literally.
Have you seen Patel? He hasn't fully seen you, but have you seen him?
Don't talk that talk now.
Okay.
You talking about Cash?
Yeah. It said,
was that a joke about Cash?
With just minutes left in his presidency, Biden issues a full and unconditional pardon of his family, most notably his brother James B. Biden. All that's going to do is feed into the Biden crime family narrative, Chris.
Okay.
It's just that simple. I don't know.
You can at least acknowledge that it will.
Yeah,
you might
I know the
disagree
optics
about
are not
the
good.
rationale.
But
why do they always lose that game? How do Democrats always lose the political optic game?
So I think a good way to look at these discussions is we first acknowledge what the optics are. Right? Hey there.
Yes. Hey, Taylor gang.
I should make that clear. Saying nobody committed a crime, but we're pardoning them anyway is
crazy.
Bad optics.
It's
terrible
exactly.
optics.
So, and that's the thing that I think a lot of us have become disillusioned with the Democrats about.
Just like they're playing in our face.
Exactly. So you make me feel gaslit. That's the term, right? You're saying there's no issue here, but then you're behaving as if there is an issue. There's cognitive dissonance that sets in. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Trump pardoned his people, but it was when they was in jail. Like it was after they had been charged for crimes. So he actually let the system play out.
And then he pardoned them.
Like. They're not even letting the system potentially play out.
And keep in mind,
different system, but yes.
I'm pardoning my whole family regardless. I'm pardoning my whole I'm not going to do anything different. I'm pardoning my son. I'm pardoning everybody involved.
Why didn't Trump do that? Yep. After January 6th, he had 14 days, right?
Well, he hasn't raised a crackhead.
What I'm saying, if we all know the things that Trump was accused of, we know the things people around him was accused of. Yeah. Why wouldn't he just do a blanket pardon of his whole family to protect them if he was actually committing all of those crimes that they said he did?
Well, I don't think that we're saying that the kids were involved in those crimes.
It don't matter. I didn't know Biden's. Why does Biden's whole family need a pardon?
Because they are.
I never heard his brother. I never even heard of his brother.
They're committing those crimes. They've been a fan. I mean, here's the thing. There is, in my opinion, there is a little bit of political bribery or tomfoolery that's going on, right? Like every single time there is, every single political family. The Trump family made their money outside of politics. If you've been in politics for 50, 60, 70, 200 years, or however long Biden's been in politics, there's going to be some quasi-illegal shit going on, and his family's probably going to be part of that, and they might be facilitating it, and so they could easily get clipped. So now he's like, all right, let me just clean them up and make sure it's okay. But that is kind of the American way when it comes to political system.
All I'm simply saying is there's one family who's moving very guilty by doing preemptive pardons of the whole family.
Because they're guilty.
And then there's another family who's been accused of being guilty, but they let the system play out. Trump went through all of this shit.
Well, he did not let the system play out.
How did he not let the system play out?
He tried to overturn the system.
But, okay, so Chris, after that, from January 6th to January 20th, Why, after trying to overturn the system and failing?
I think he thought he was going to win. I thought he was.
But we know he did. He had 14 days. Why didn't he pardon himself and his family after January 6th? Why was he willing to go through it? You know what, though? I just answered my own question. I'm bugging. He went through all of that because he knew it would be good politics. He knew the political theater of them motherfucking charging him and, arresting him and the mugshots and everything else. He knew it was going to energize his motherfucking base. Absolutely. He's just better at this than everybody. Yeah. It is what it is, Chris.
Is that shocking?
He's just better.
Oh, he got lucky again. It's like, if this is orchestrated his entire life, yeah, maybe he's good at it.
Yeah.
And maybe the Democrats can learn something from it.
They can.
When Barack Obama did it, it was because he was really good.
Obama was really good at it.
The institution, it wasn't like the Democratic Party that what's it called, inflated him and held him up like they tried to do with Kamala. He was really good.
They didn't, the Democrats weren't UMG, Spotify.
Yeah, they didn't whitelist Obama.
No, exactly.
They let that shit go.
Exactly. And by the way, he is the last real leader of the Democratic Party. And probably the last real talent we've saw on the Democratic side. And Donald Trump, say what you want about him, he is a good talent.